Fresh news, smart talk, all day. The views and opinions of the hosts and guests are their own and do not necessarily reflect the views of the management and staff of Guardian Radio.
Guardian Radio Today is brought to you by Alive, Burger King, the Cleveland Clinic, Commonwealth Bank, Epic Battery, Prince Masters, Ron's Electric Motors, The Shoe Depot, and Wendy's.
And welcome. Am I being heard? Yeah, here we go. Welcome to another edition, the September 2nd edition of Guardian Radio Today. My name is Pastor Dr. Cleveland W. Enas III, also known as Kahun Anku Sarah. It is a beautiful Tuesday. The breeze is blowing. I don't know. We're getting some signs that summer may be getting ready to go elsewhere, but we'll see. I know I won't talk too fast, but it's a beautiful day today. I want to start the show today by giving a big shout out to my sister Leah Enas. Happy birthday to my beautiful sister. I wish you many more in health and with wealth and prosperity. Enjoy your day, my sister. I love you. Today we have an open line. Today. I really want to get a feel from you, the listeners, as to what is making you tick, in this Bahamas, right? There's so much going on to talk about, in the newspapers and on social media, etc. But I want to get a feel from you all. I want you to be the guests, the callers today. I know oftentimes when I have guests that get to my call, so I want to give those people who don't ordinarily get an opportunity to call in, an opportunity to call. Today's number is 323-6232, 325-4316, 4259, of course, in the family of islands, 242-300, 300-5720. Of course, our text line is powered by BTC. It's 422-4796. It's 422-4796. Standard text rates do apply. Of course, we're streaming live on GuardianTalkRadio.com. Also, we're on Cable Bahamas 969 or BTC Flow Channel 612. All right, so I've been, paying attention, as most of you have been, to what's been, going on in our beautiful Bahamas, right? Everything that's going on isn't necessarily beautiful, but we still have a beautiful country, right? And as I watch the school rollout, I call it, the opening of school, and I hear the gripes and the complaints about school, not necessarily the government schools anyway, not necessarily being ready like they would want them to, and principles not being posted, etc. I'm wondering about the system at large, right? The system, and I want to talk about that today. I'm going to run to this text, and then I'm going to run to the phone lines. This text says, "Good day. NHI has yet to pay its providers the outstanding funds for July, 60% outstanding, nor the outstanding for August, 100%. I don't know if there's any truth to this, but this is what the text is saying, and I pray that if that is true, that you get some relief very soon. That's not a good thing. Let's run to the phone lines, Kermit, here on Radio Today. Caller, you are live on Guardian Radio Today. Go ahead. We can hear you. Yes, sir.
Okay, Uncle, you can hear me?
Yeah, very low.
You can hear me better now, Uncle?
Yes, much better.
Okay, Uncle, you're still a producer. Once a producer, always a producer. You could run everything.
Yes, sir.
I remember you and Kermit from back in the day.
Kermit teach me, you see?
Is Kermit teach you?
Yeah, well, Bodine and Kermit. Bodine.
Yeah, that's another one too. Bodine was there with Kermit.
Yeah.
Yeah. How much you use Wally Boy too?
Nah, boy. As
Yeah?
one family. As one family. As a one family. But I love Junkanoo. I love all the groups, man. You know, I respect all the Junkanoo groups, but my heart is one family, you know?
Yes, sir. Respect, though.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, my boy Barney was too before he gone. So he was Saxon, but I is Wally now, born Saxon. I wanted to find out from you, since you say this is an open line.
Yeah.
Before in the story, what they talking about, most everyone talking about with the Tribune, talking about Carlist leader and Linden in the Tribune.
I read that story, right?
You don't want to talk about that, eh?
Well, I don't. All I could say is what's in the paper. I don't have any information other than what, because that's how am I gonna research, right?
But this whole thing seems to be offensive to a lot of people who still, family members and people who still alive who was there from back in the days.
Yeah. I imagine.
To be offensive.
I imagine it would be. However, we cannot pretend that we didn't have a
problem, a challenge.
Yeah, a challenge, a drug era, if you wish, a false economy, if you wish, in this country.
So you think, when I believe you as a believer who believe the truth, do you believe if something is true, even if it's offensive, it needs to be said? You think so?
I think if the intention to say it is...
No, it's the intention is to bring the truth out, but it's going to be offensive.
Yeah, see, the truth usually is offensive to liars. Let's be clear about that, right? Mm-hmm. However, if indeed the truth needs to be spoken, then I'm all for the truth being spoken.
Even if it hurts somebody feelings.
Even if it hurts some feelings.
Offensive.
Now, if the people who are being affected are saying, well, that's not what happened, then I think they need to speak that truth.
Like how you speak to them with the Bible.
Yes.
Yeah, because you offend people.
Of course. Okay. Just like the Messiah.
You don't do it to offend people.
I don't do it to offend people, but I walk with the same intention that the Messiah walked with when he walked on the earth. You know, the truth can make us free. So if the truth is offending a person, then that person must be thriving off of lies.
Say that last part,
thriving off of lies. They must be being fed by lies.
Okay, when I hear you, Uncle, and when I first started, I wanted to find out how deep you know about the story where they talk about the Lennon and what is Carlist leading and all that stuff. You recall the part where, because you might be you was a former lecturer teacher, right? You was a reader.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
They don't teach this in school, though.
Okay, so Chief, with the Carlist leader part, I mean, I don't want to be offensive to no one, but do you think the Tribune just being a good newspaper reporting it, or they trying to offend somebody? What you think?
I think they're trying to sell newspapers. I think they're trying to make sure.
People them saying that the grandson or the son of the owners them want a nomination from the PLD. Seems like he's going to be a candidate, and why would they do something like that?
That's a great question. That's a great question. People ask.
I say to myself, why would they be? I mean, I don't expect the truth. All right, some people say you should apologize to the family or whosoever you offend. I don't have a problem with them apologizing.
Listen,
but if
let me
apologize,
let me read
what I expect from them, knowing them over the years. So that's why people were saying they surprised to know the gentleman wanted a nomination from the PLP.
Listen, I have a question. I have a question for you. This from a Dexter. The persons whom the story is speaking about are not here to defend themselves. So how is this fair or balanced? That's the question. If the people can't defend themselves, how is it fair or balanced to bring forward a story like that? That's the question.
I could be wrong what I might say. Although you're done gone or whatever, I feel like truth is the truth. It needs to come out if it's true. If there's any truth to it, it needs to be. It needs to come out. The gentleman who won the nomination for the PLP. If I was him, I'd just stay focused on getting the nomination. Let the Tribune do their part. I don't know if he's the one who's writing it himself or
probably not.
People,
yeah.
People in there writing it for him, right? But I think he should just stay focused. Let the Tribune do what they have to do. And also, chair who might be offended, we need to understand that the Tribune or these papers, them sometimes they have an agenda. But I think they within the law to do some of the things what they do. And I say to myself, Sir Lennon but he has done a lot to help this country, and I don't think he could control what everybody do. I think he only can speak for himself.
Of course not. I mean, he was somebody who had commissioner of inquiries before he even died.
With the commission inquiry, they say that gentleman with the pastor named Drexel Gomez. He was one of them either who was in charge or leading it. Everybody say the commission inquiry, if they had anything on anybody, the persons them would have been convicted or gone to jail or something. Was he comfortable? Was he satisfied? Because someone was saying that he's still in. They still didn't finish wrap. Did they wrap it up?
No. I mean, there's still a lot of questions that need to be answered. But here's another thing I want to throw at you. There's another texter, right, which is kind of responding to the texter before. So the texter before said, is it fair or balanced if the people are not here to defend themselves? Another texter says, so we can't write stories about Columbus or Hitler or old slave masters just because they're dead? We can't write about them?
I'm going to talk about Barabbas and Jesus and them two thieves who was on the cross. I'm going to say that earlier, but I don't want to be offensive.
No, see, at the end of the day, what is the intention? That's the question. What is the intent behind the truth?
All right, it's good to get the truth, but what is the intention to bring it out now? That's another point. 25 years or 30 years later.
Well,
it ain't gone.
It just happened. It just happened that this convicted Colombian drug trafficker, right, Carlist leader, he just for the first time publicly claimed he gave $150 a month to Everett Barnister to pass directly to former Prime Minister Sir Lyndon Pinner. This is what the Tribune is writing, right?
So he's reporting what he had to say,
quoting him, right? So, who knows why at this point in time he wants to speak his truth?
God knows, yeah, and that's the serious thing.
He may be getting things off his chest. I don't know.
Yeah, you're right with that. Not have to be nothing that you before you die or you do it. Maybe you just
people is do that,
your chest. You're right with that.
People is clear their conscience.
Questions was asked to him in the court case and before they sentenced him to jail. But Sir Lyndon, and he say nice things. Well, he says Sir Lyndon's a nice man. He ain't never say these things what he's saying with Sir Lyndon now, right?
Not to my knowledge. They say this is the first time he making this claim.
You think anything is possible, but you think it's a big chance that he's being paid to say this?
I don't know. I have no idea.
That's correct, and you have no idea if he was giving that money to the Mr. Barnister to carry that way. He's only God knows.
See, with the troubling thing with stories like this is how do you prove it?
Did Barnister ever say anything before he died admit to this?
Not to my knowledge.
One last thing.
Yeah.
knowing that used to be in school too, and like I say, you're an educator, very serious young man, proud people like you and others in this country keeping you all let up and doing sensible things because you didn't have to be there. You could have been doing the most foolishness and talking foolishness. But Uncle, in the papers, they must convict one gentleman who was in a fight with another gentleman
for 35 years
in prison, and now I think they bring something back to court to say the gentleman. The one who's alive was one dead.
Yeah.
The one who's alive who get charged or convicted get 35 years or something like that.
Yes.
They saying he gets some locks growing on his head. It's Rasta. I get to learn when I was growing locks too that something is a Rasta. You could be a Rasta or you could be a dreadlock. People in the court, I don't know if there's a prosecutor or whatsoever, saying that, and I just quote them, correct me if I say something, but they saying that he just wearing Rasta, locks with style.
They say he's wearing it for vanity's sake. They say it's not a religious...
nothing to do with it, in something for style or something like that.
That's what is being claimed. That's what
my question to you before I go, right? And then you can maybe think about it first. How do you determine, how did they go that far and say, well...
That's my question.
If you say you're a Christian, that you know, Christian... I be thinking like it's the life you live, it's how you conduct yourself, but I want you to answer it and tell me something. What about the prison part? These people, when they get convicted and stuff and go to prison, I don't think they could vote even if they register, right? Do you think if they register to vote before they convicted, if they should be able to, do you think we need to look into that and let them vote? But the real question is, for Rasta, who in there, who's saying he didn't want him to cut his hair, came to no barber? Do you think that's a decision the prison should make because they talk about hygiene and different things, bringing drugs and weapons in, putting it in your hair and all that stuff? Do you think that should be something would leave up to the prison to do? Because I think they're saying that's the way it is. So that's something we need to look into and don't force them to cut their hair if they claim that that's their religion. I'll hang up and listen. Keep up the good work, Uncle.
Sure. Thank you. That's a great question. I would use that to my advantage if I were, running the correctional center. Right? If you claim to be a Rastafarian and you have your locks, fine, you could keep your locks, but you're going to live up to the principles of Rastafari. I think that would make the prison a better place. That's my opinion, right? If you cut his hair, how is that helping to correct his behavior? Right? He made a mistake. I don't think he meant to kill the young man based on the story I heard, but in any event, he went there and what happened. Right? But if you're going to correct his behavior, and, the prosecutor, obviously they have reasons for saying what they're saying, so I'm not on the young man's side or the prosecutor's side, but I'm looking at how are we going to correct his behavior, in 35 years, he have a lot to think about. His hair may help him to hold on to something that will actually help him live a better life. All right, let's run to the text right quick. Good day. At my age, I know people who are associated with Carlist leader that's still alive, okay, as it relates to the truth, lies, and conformity. The truth will send them to jail. So this is in and for spiritual context. Now, any avid reader will know that the truth is elusive and thrives amongst humanity because humanity thrives and is swimming in an ecosystem of lies. So this text is saying, this could affect people, all right? Tell the texter that people who are a part of these illegal activities, I don't understand the last part of the text. Sorry, Dexter. All right, let's run back to the phone lines here on Guardian Radio today. It's an open line today. I want to know what's making you tick. What's on your radar? Caller, you live.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. How you doing?
Yeah. I believe that they are men are still alive today with your leader. And they maybe, if they want to come forward and testify the truth, I don't believe that he gives Mr.
Barnister.
Yeah, Barnister this money. Mr. Barnister's dead, and Mr. Penland is dead. No one is there to defend their own self. But I believe there are people who will know it ain't true. But I feel this is political, and that no one will come forward and say, no, something that ain't true what this man is saying, Why this man didn't say this when he was going to prison or what is what? While Mr. Penland was maybe alive and stuff like that. I can leave that.
So let me ask you
rest
this.
there.
Let me ask you this. What would be the motive of Carlos Leader, I think his last name is, what would be the motive for him to get involved in our politics by saying that?
What would be the motive? It maybe want to look bad on the PLP. That's all you can say.
But what would he gain?
Is a gangster.
What would he gain by doing that?
Well, I don't know what he may gain, but something look fishy.
Mm-hmm.
Something is not right. All of a sudden now, couple more months before election, and all the thing is rising up. Who will be next? Who will somebody lie on and say this one do?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Then they did. See, we feel happy when something bad is said about somebody's family.
Yeah.
But when it's our family, we cry wolf and start making it. That ain't no true. The next thing.
Yeah.
But my last 2 point is,
mm-hmm.
what you think should be done, but for those two pilots in Harbin that were fighting on the plane.
But didn't they move them immediately?
They moved them, but now we don't know if they still gonna have their jobs.
I don't think they should lose their jobs, but I think they should be suspended. I think they should have some counseling. I think whatever the issue is, I don't believe in throwing people away, right? And when I was a senior master at the California International Academy, and I dealt with students who were fighting or students who I could tell there was something going on deeper than what the fight was showing me, right? I would really give them the opportunity to explain what is the real issue, right? The fight is the symptom. The fight is not necessarily the issue, right? Is there something wrong with the work environment, right? Is there something that had been complained about, previously or over and over again, that was not addressed by their superiors, right? Mm-hmm. Often these things don't happen in a vacuum, right? But I don't think they should lose their jobs. I think they should be reprimanded, definitely.
Okay.
Yeah.
My last point is,
mm-hmm.
you're talking about the system at the school.
Yeah.
Someone should be able to broke these system,
mm-hmm.
because there's no way we're going through the same year every year. We don't have enough headmistress or headmaster to put in these schools.
Mm-hmm.
Just say, if I'm a director and under my portfolio for, just say, 50 schools throughout the Bahamas,
mm-hmm.
I know headmistress or headmaster should be placed in all of those schools.
Mm-hmm.
I should not wait until the last week of school will be opening and scrambling and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's my responsibility to make sure that is carried out and stuff like that. We have to really be serious when we're putting people in these places, these jobs, to know what they're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
If they don't know what they're supposed to do, we're afraid to move these people.
Yeah.
Because, look, some of the school them don't have no headmistress or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Now, some, this is so shameful and stuff like that.
Yeah, it is.
For you to be
the
director
mm-hmm.
and say, well, in the week to come, we can place these things. You should know this.
Yeah.
Long time.
Yeah.
You should know this. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Oftentimes in these situations, it's not that people don't know that the schools need a headmistress or a principal, but it's the bureaucracy, man. I remember former Minister Jeff Lloyd in 2017, I was reading an article where he was calling for, I don't know if this ever happened, he was calling for the Ministry of Education to have their own construction company outside of the Ministry of Works. Because of all of the bureaucracy and the time it takes to get stuff done, it's just waste time, right? So I don't know the logistics behind why those people weren't placed yet, but I could guarantee you that the people in education ain't sitting down on their thumbs or sitting on their hands waiting until September to get stuff done. I guarantee you that ain't what's happening. All right, let's read this text and then we go back to the phone lines. All right, good afternoon. The truth is the truth. It doesn't matter what the motives of Mr. Carlos or the Tribune are. If it happened, it calls into question the legacy of many people, especially those mentioned in the Commission of Inquiry. It's treasonous and set up many Bahamians to be slaves to drugs and corruption. Fix the problem instead of killing the messenger. All right, Dexter. Strong words. Let's run back to the phone lines. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Caller, you're live here on Guardian Radio today. Caller going once. All right.
Hello.
Hey, how you doing, my brother?
Hey, good afternoon, Andrew.
Yeah, man. Good to hear your voice.
I wish I had the Dexter number, I love that Dexter, man. I don't know who that is. I'm say that because, yes,
Yeah.
he probably is an avid reader, too. But what I'm saying is, right, I don't know who's guilty, who's filthy, or whatever, right? As much as I like Ping, right, I ain't going to swear for no one, because if I move out in the back of Life, Kina or West Ridge, and they say, someone give me $2 million, you think, see, what I'm saying is, when you read the book, The Cocaine Wars, Aaron called it Cocaine Cowboys, but the book named The Cocaine Wars. It's co-authored. I read this book so long ago, at least about 25 years or more, right? So I can't even remember the authors. But I think it was some guys out of Florida or whatever. But the book is there for everybody to go and look at. One of the things I read also as a young man coming out of high school, I might have been, how old I was when the commissioner, I might have been about 8, maybe I was 17, 16, going on 17, whatever, but I don't know if I could have voted. I can't remember, but the Commissioner McQuarrie. But I remember reading it avidly in the dailies, right? And I remember reading things like where the commandant of the Defense Force at that time had UHF and radio system to communicate with these people. There was documentation of nefarious activity within the Defense Force. There was information that the Bahamian government wasn't paying attention to Norman's Key until it became like they publicized it because it was. But when I listened to the documentary, the contemporary one, one of the things I disagreed with was they were saying Jolie, Carlist was bragging about. They were saying he owned islands in the Bahamas. So this is what they was throwing out. Some of their statements were inglorious, but when you read the book and you do the chronology, and also in the book. Somebody also mentioned how easy it was to bribe certain officers in Bimini and certain, when they would pull up and hang and play, they have a flat tire. There's all type of things in there. But these people who comment, they wouldn't read anything to juxtapose anything. This is what I hate about us as Negroes. We will down someone else, but we will praise another person. But what I'm saying is, I don't know who did what. But what I'm saying is, there are people who are living today that if people can, of course they would be afraid. There are people who are living today. It's not like this was a long time ago and Ray. You know what I mean? But really and truly. But the question as to what drives me, right, Angu, is I was fruitful and I multiplied. I have 3 children, right? Which is not enough. I might want to be like Howard one day, have 10, right? But what I'm saying is, the social engineering of humanity has led to some eugenical concepts in which a black woman, whether or white, they go to college, they have any more babies. And so the migrants coming in, they ain't worrying but y'all and all of that. They having babies and they doing what God say. So what I'm saying is, and in short, make a way, and where there's a will, there'll be a way. So you all of a sudden now, back in the days, some people have 13, 14, 15 children. I know one woman have, must be 20, and all of them, some is doing doctors, as teachers, and nurses, I'm telling you. All right, they know, they hear me. Yeah, so what I'm saying is, we must realize our own ignorance and then the conformity that humanity is undergoing and stop critiquing one another now. Why? They say, well, why would poor people have children? And so then you have concepts like the implementation of Bill Gates, where they have this electronic system for remote control abortion. You have the situation in Kenya the other day where they went in the guise of giving tetanus shot, was actually giving humans HCG, human chorionic gonadotropins, right, which is a hormone to suppress pregnancy. So in short, they want to control the population. And so they're doing it with the incrementalism, the social incrementalism in which they're doing it. The world wouldn't realize what they're doing. You see what I'm saying? So they don't want you to have any children, and it is what it is.
They can't have any children, and they don't want us to have any children.
Yes, but what drives me is my children. And then I have a picture of my mom up in the little shop, right?
Yeah.
A friend of mine came in, he said, man, you notice if the picture tilt, I figure you in a bad mood. I said, but you know something? I don't look at the picture when people are around. It's only for when I'm in the shop waking late at night by myself. I look at mom. This picture of smiling. Mom would have been maybe about 20.
Wow.
Little Rooney in them time, they're smiling at me. You know what I mean? So, these are the types of things that drive me. So people, you don't want to know me than I know myself. You see what I'm saying? But I want you, like Papa say, keep up the good works. Don't worry about who your friend.
Yes.
You saying, Uncle, because you got people out there who know what you're saying. That's like how some people out there know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? And people quick to critique.
Yeah.
without with being too visceral and critiquing in ignorance. I love that text. You're talking the message instead of the message. And I wish everybody would do that in the media, would stop entertaining people. When you critique someone, please critique them factually, please. The airways will be a better place. Give thanks.
Amen, amen. So going back to the article, right, the Tribune article, because people are asking, well, why would he say this, right? Leader made these allegations in a YouTube interview with former mobster Michael Franzese, right, promoted alongside his new book, where he detailed how he turned Norman's Key into a cocaine smuggling hub and described the financial arrangement that he said shielded him from interference at the highest levels of Bahamian government. So they selling about this is about promotion. You know what I'm saying? I run to a text and then I go back to the phone lines. This text says, "I would never put those two pilots to work together again." I agree with that. They can't work together. You gotta separate them. They definitely can't work together. If an incident even transpires with either one again, then drastic measures should be taken. I agree, Dexter. They can't work together, and they should be on some serious probation. Let's run back to the phone lines here on Guardian Radio today.
Yeah, Uncle Surah.
Yes, Grammy boy, what you see?
Yeah, this Grammy boy here, man. Uncle is saying some stuff. The only thing I want to add to what 52 saying is maybe we need to let the Bahamian people, doubtful people, or the political ones know where Norman's Key was in proximity to Nassau. Norman's Key was 10 minutes by charter plane, 5-seater, out of Nassau.
Wow.
Now, if you think the prime ministers and ministers, he ain't know about that, because you could almost run a long jump over there. If you think they ain't know that for that, then I got ice to sell there if you move, in the car. You understand? And that's as much as I can take as what you did there, but it basically sustain me.
Right.
With the incident and the young man, the Raster Man, who was just sentenced to 35 years.
Mm-hmm.
See, the only thing we are hearing is his side of the story.
Yeah.
We have not heard from the lady or the
deceased
landlord, supposedly landlord.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so I wouldn't really make a judgment on that to say, oh, he innocent or the time too much, because we need to hear from all sides.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, Uncle, the magistrate or the judge ain't believe it.
Well, clearly. See, let me tell you when I first heard the story, right, I didn't realize that, according to what the news report said, he didn't start the fight, but he came there. He was the ex-boyfriend. And the two of them reportedly had weapons, and then they dropped the weapons, started fighting. He had, one of them was in a headlock. The fellow who gone to jail, he was in a headlock, and he stopped the fellow to stop him from being in the headlock. That's the story what I heard, right? He ain't gonna kill him based on what I hear in that story, but he hit an artery, a femoral artery that ain't nothing to play with, right? So it's unfortunate. First of all, he shouldn't have gone around there. He was there.
That's the part.
That's
me. Everybody, he was invited home.
See, I don't know the story. I didn't know what the news say, right? But when I hear ex-boyfriend, I mean, move on, bro.
Listen,
move
Uncle,
on. Yeah.
which one of y'all will have your new girlfriend at your apartment and invite you over there?
Never.
Never. See, when the police catch you come up with all kind of story. When you get catch in something, you come up with all kind of story. Oh, I was invited for a skate.
Right.
Almost say something put you on the radio and people listening. That's utter nonsense. You understand? Now, when it comes to his hair, when you see, Uncle, I don't know if you remember, from way back in the day with little boys when all the little bad Rasta boys used to get catch and go to Foxhill and come out thick and bald head.
Yeah. See,
you remember that?
I do remember that.
Stephen Williams, that big thick Rasta, Napoli and all them fellas go on to prison. When they come out, they got to go their blocks over. So that was always a practice once you are sentenced of our state.
Yes.
That you got to cut your ear.
That's a policy I didn't agree with, though.
But maybe you don't agree with it, but when you sentence...
that was discrimination against Rastafarians.
Well, why is there discrimination?
Because that is their religious right. See, when they grab Motor Baruka, they ain't.
I don't know.
Fire and brimstone was going to hit Nassau. So
you know, we get slack over the years, but see, when you pick up a gun and you kill someone or you rob someone and you're charged and incarcerated, a lot of your civil rights are taken away temporarily.
I agree, a lot are, but you have some human rights that remain intact.
So if you want be able to do this and do that, then don't do the crime.
No, I agree. That's why they're in jail. I ain't saying you shouldn't get locked up, but you can't strip someone of their religion because of that.
Prison is not Ritz-Carlton, buddy. That ain't what that design for. That design. And when you go to prison with long hair like that, you know that's a handle.
What you mean?
You know you and someone can get in a fight.
Yeah, but that's the risk you take.
And they grab your hair.
That's the risk you take.
And they could strangle you with that.
Yeah, and see, having locks don't make prison the Ritz-Carlton. But the point I'm making is it's a correctional center. So if you intend for this person to come back on the street and be a person who could benefit this society, then there's certain things you gotta leave in place.
Yeah, well, once you commit a crime, you got gray locks over. I ain't moving on.
I disagree.
That depends on the state. That depends on the laws of the state.
The Constitution protects people's religious rights.
Yeah, that only protect you once you're a law-abiding citizen, uncle.
That's what the Constitution says?
That protects you once you're law-abiding.
That's what the Constitution says?
That's basically what it says.
You been up there before? You been up to the correction?
I've been incarcerated before.
So you know they have old section for Christians then. You know they have old section.
Yeah, but when you get them, you can wake up whatever you want to wake up. But
so that's all I'm saying.
You gotta wear. If the state say you gotta wear red and white, you gotta wear red and white, buddy.
I talking about here. But I appreciate it, man. I appreciate the call.
Yeah, man.
All right, man. Respect. All right, let's run back to the text line.
Yeah, man. You gotta wear red and white, buddy.
Let's see what the texters are saying now. Good day, bro. Just catch some of the show. All I could say is what's in the dark will come out to light. I come with the Bible truth. Can you hear the difference between Jesus' name with a G or Jesus Christ with a J? You don't have to dread to be Rasta. It's not a dreadlocks thing. True Raster Man is in the heart. Yeah, but if the person one day locks, they got to keep their locks, man. You can't do that, man. All right, let's run back to the phone lines here on Guardian Radio. I think we got to go to the news, eh? Let's go to the news. Okay, I think we can take this caller and then go to the news. All right, let me just check this next text and then we can get back to. We going to the news? All right, just wanted to make sure here on Guardian Radio today, open line. The show is going quickly. We talking about. What is it that's making you tick? What is it you're hearing in the news or in society today that you want to talk about? After this break, please give us a call. We'll be right back after this.
This is Guardian Radio 96.9 FM, GuardianTalkRadio.com, and the Guardian Radio app, Nassau, Bahamas.
326 ETIC. Hello. This Epic Eckert battery. This Miss Beulah from round the corner. I hear you're selling tires now on Wolf Road too.
Praise the Lord. It's about time. I live Fox Hill and Fire Trail. It's too far.
That ain't all. They open Monday to Friday, 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. On Sunday and holiday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m.
My brother Sam, he's a hacker, and he could go right there and get fixed up.
Call us at 326 EPIC. We ship also to the Family Island.
Nothing beats a Chickchani Challenge. On September 27th, we're bringing the action, a 5K course packed with 20 thrilling obstacles. Start and finish at Fusion Superplex with energy, fun and excitement all around. First time? No problem. Try the Chickchani Lite version built just for beginners. Got kids? Ages 3 to 7 can take on their very own Chickchani Kids Challenge. And this year, we're turning 10. So grab your team, mark your calendar and come celebrate with us. Visit chickchanichallenge.com to sign up today. Thanks to our sponsors Fusion Superplex, Guardian Radio 96.9, Kalina, RBC, Advantage Insurance, Party Pilots Rentals and Events, Fincastle Media Group, Powerade, Click, and Art of Graphics.
Don't settle for ordinary when you can have the Farmhouse King only at Burger King Nassau. It's back! Sink your teeth into 100% flame grilled beef, stacked with crisp bacon, melty American cheese, crispy onions, a fried egg, and the full sauce that adds the perfect kick for a flavor sensation fit for a king. Grab the Farmhouse King as a combo with fries and a drink, or go all in with the Farmhouse King's Feast. It's bigger, it's better, and it's only at Burger King Nassau.
Don't wait for a storm to arrive. Stock up on hurricane supplies, make home repairs, purchase a generator, and more this hurricane season with a Fidelity personal loan. Make that move today. Call 356-7764.
Fidelity, we're good for you.
This is Guardian Radio, your station for up-to-the-minute news and intelligent, interactive, and engaging conversations. 96.9 FM.
And we're back on Guardian Radio today, the September 2nd edition. Again, I want to say happy birthday to my little sister, Leah. Enas, pray that you're having a wonderful day today. I just want to make sure that, I shout you out a couple times today. You know what I mean? Love you to life, sis. All right, we have an open line today. So these texts and these phone calls, they whizzing by. Let me just read this text and then we'll go to the phone lines, right? This text says, "Good afternoon, bro. I am a retired senior police officer. It was the late Norman Solomon, former member of parliament for Shirley, who exposed the drug activities at Norman's Key, which prompted the appointment of the Commission of Inquiry. The late Sir Lyndon Pinland was Prime Minister. Many persons, including some senior police officers and others amongst whom was our late Prime Minister, were condemned. That is a part of our history, as many people don't want to acknowledge it. It is what it is. We acknowledge the many good things that Sir Lyndon did for the country, and we give him props. Well, similarly, we must hold him and whomever else responsible for whatever went wrong on their watch. That is why today's and future leaders must take note." Amen and amen. I think if you don't tell the stories, then you do them to repeat them, right? All politicians should notice if they don't notice. All Bahamians should notice if they don't notice. All right, let me get to another text. Then we go to the phone lines. Hey, Uncle, nice show as always. You're a roots man like me. I used to have locks. I used to have my locks. That's true. So they should not deny the Dread the rights to keep his locks. He's already in prison for a long time. Have some compassion despite what he did. I agree. Let's run back to the phone lines here. 323-6232, 325-4316. 325-4259, of course, in the family of islands, 242-300-5720. Caller, you're live here on Guardian Radio today.
Uncle.
Yes, my brother.
I ain't going to take long. I just called back to say I didn't meet Leah. I didn't know of Leah, your sister. I wanted you. I wanted to also say happy birthday to her, and I wanted you to tell her the blind one papa say happy birthday. I think she used to do producing, too, in the radio station down by Island FM.
She used to work at Love 97 for a while. And then she used to be an on-air personality. We had a show called Plugged In at Island FM. Yeah,
I remember that.
Yeah, now she's on TV with the Island Kids, the TV show.
Okay, that's on Saturday or that's on Channel 12?
Nah, you done it. It's on one of the cable stations. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Leah have locks?
Yeah, Leah has locks. Yeah.
I think Levon did tell me that. So you know Levon had passed, right?
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
From in 2020.
Wow, I didn't know. Yes, I did know that. Yes.
I miss him.
Yeah, I miss him too.
Uncle, let's say I ain't gonna take long, but I wanted to find out from you also if you're following the election over there in Jamaica. It's tomorrow, God's will, like PNP and JLP.
Yeah.
It's the two parties, them, and I was wondering if they similar like the PLP and FNM. I hear them talking about gold. I had him talking about orange and green and stuff like that. I was wondering if you was following it, if you see it like how I can't see, but I following it a little bit, and it seems like this opposition party, the PNP with Marky G, with Mark Golden, seems like they get the momentum. Like seems like the majority of people talking more for them. And they ain't saying that the JLP and the Prime Minister, Mr. What that one name? He name is the Holness.
Yeah,
he seems like he still get people with him, but it feel like the victory going with the PNP. So
well, we can see.
We'll all find out.
I saw. I think it was Mr. Holness. He was talking about their minimum wage, and they were going to raise the minimum wage.
He promised a lot of stuff.
Yeah, and so I haven't followed it closely, but some things have come across my timeline.
He promised a lot of stuff. I mean, and I don't know if he had the opportunity to do it, and he didn't do it, or he did some and he want to improve it. But this Mark Golden man, the opposition leader, he sound like he almost sound like a Brave Davis before Brave Davis turned Prime Minister, and we see this different person now. But he sound like the things what he's be doing.
See, Papa, let me tell you, I blame us. I blame the voters because we run off the promises.
Not just promises.
We love promises.
Not just promises. I'm saying, and all of them is promise. Even Margot, even the present Prime Minister promising. Now all the politicians promise. But I'm saying,
go try get a vote. No, don't get no promises. See what happens.
But the Marquis Chief fellow seems like he been doing without being the Prime Minister things like supporting people, I hear him talk about when something happens, some part of the world, must be Israel or somewhere, and he gone in his pocket and sent for the people. I remember Brave Davis talking about spending money out of his pocket, helping people, and we all know he's been doing it for years. And he get the opportunity to be Prime Minister.
Most politicians take money out of their pocket. Yeah. Most politicians take money out of their pocket.
Yeah. So you know about the PNP and the JP.
Yeah, I know about them.
Okay.
My parents was married in Jamaica. My daddy been to JC. I love Jamaica. Now I don't follow their politics, closely, but I have an idea.
I don't want to say this without being offensive. It seems like the alleged gangsters, or even the artists, the said who sing the chuck up and all that stuff and all that stuff. They with the PNP. And some with.
So a lot of that violence goes back to even when my daddy was in school in Jamaica. That was in the 50s. It wasn't like that. But as when they found bauxite in Jamaica and they devalued the money, and the CIA is allegedly said to have done some things. And so it ain't just Jamaica. You see what I'm saying? It ain't just the dons and the different people who.
So we far from that, or how far we is from how they live in. Not the financial part, but I mean, the gangsterism and the politics and all of that stuff.
Boy, listen, when you see some of these videos of how these fellas jumping out of cars and shooting people, we ain't far. And we smaller than Jamaica. At least Jamaica bigger than us. As far as New Providence is concerned. Andros is another story, but New Providence is way smaller than Jamaica.
And you agree that it could be, some of the reason could be because we mix some of our brothers and sisters, either have a Haitian or Jamaican.
I think someone getting a lot of money bringing guns into this country. We don't make guns.
I wish they could deal with that. But
we don't make bullets.
Crime is money. Crime is paid.
Yeah.
Man, look at they serious.
Yeah.
Man, look at they serious. You know what I wanted to find? You have any idea if they have any? I don't know if the word is contingency plan.
Contingency plan.
Yeah, if like condolence and to the people and I understand plenty of them ain't recovered yet from what happened in Abaco with Dorian, and I don't know if to say a speedy recovery. I wish a recovery one day for them. But if we have that same situation in Nassau, I know we had Matthew and others here, and we flooded and we get a good thing. I mean, if it come as bad as that, the fish coming on the land and the sea and the land and everything together here in Nassau, what is the plan? I don't know, we own helicopters.
Have you?
We can beg for help. You ever hear them talk about what happened with all these people here in Nassau?
They've projected what would happen, and we're going to be under a lot of water.
You know what I should ask you? What is your plan for you and your family, knowing that this is possible?
So, that's a good question. Number one, learn how to swim.
Yes.
All my children, my family, we know how to swim. That's
important.
And let me tell you why it's so important. I worked in Abaco after that storm. A lot of people died because they couldn't swim.
Whoa.
Sharks was one thing, but people could not swim. Right? I got another call, though, Papa.
Okay, and owning a boat will help.
It would help, but the boat is expensive. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I don't know.
You could get a life raft.
But when you get a chance, Uncle, you know that thing would happen over there in the United States where there's trans gone and killed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to know what you think was in his mind. What we could do to maybe stop them kind of things and make sure we could work on that.
All right, I'll comment on it.
Trans here too. I'll hang up and listen.
Yeah.
Keep up the good work, Uncle.
Yeah, my brother. Let's run to the next caller here on Guardian Radio today. Caller, you are live.
Yes, sir. Good day to all.
How you doing, man? Thanks for calling.
Man, sir,
yeah.
You know, your parents was educated before the PLP came to power, right?
Yeah.
Lyndon Penn was educated before the PLP power. Many black people were educated before the PLP went to power, came to power.
Mm-hmm.
You had black people with money before the PLP came to power, right?
Yep.
So why do people don't realize that these things were so before the PLP? You know, and I don't know if you know of the alleged 10%ers, the 10% crew.
And
you know the 10% crew.
In what context? I've heard of
where this party would go and get 10% of the wealthy people's money. They shake companies down or investors down for 10%.
Oh, I didn't know about them. I didn't know.
Right, and then where the bridge was sold, alleged the bridge been sold twice. You know that one, right?
I've heard that.
See, Sarah, right?
Yeah.
Lyndon Penn did some good things, right?
Yeah.
But he did some bad things too.
Mm.
For one, Lyndon Penn, he was supposed to be the leader of the Progressive Liberal Party, right?
Mm-hmm.
He was liberal. He did the liberal part, but he didn't do the progressive thing. See, the Defense Force wasn't a progressive thing.
Mm.
You know, you could call that a conservative thing.
Mm.
You know, progressive ain't nationalist.
Yeah.
You know, and see, Finland, what he refused to do. Which is first thing they asked Finland when he came to power, right? Where he would bring what they call it the capital gains tax, right, and the income tax. You know, he said no.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and how could you call yourself progressive and ain't bringing them taxes? You know, you things like income tax and wealth tax and corporate tax. They should have been the first thing you bring.
Well, we attracted a lot of finance based on people. We were a tax haven, you know, for a long time.
In other words, we were the Zacchaeus of the oligarchs of the West. Oligarchs.
When we had Mr. Freddie Jr. on the show, I think it was last week, right? He talked about the fact that our tourist economy, right, comes out of that era of bootlegging and other nefarious activity whereby people understood they could come here and not have to worry about meeting the law. You know,
right, they were the invaders of the law.
Yeah, they came here to party. They knew this where they could come to party. But interestingly enough, they didn't really call us corrupt till we had majority rule. That's the part.
But the sad thing is we have majority rule and they ain't did nothing about it. We refuse to put a check on these things.
See, let me say this, right? I think we as the electorate, we have to appreciate the pressures. And I've never been in Parliament. I've never been in the Senate. I've never been in politics, right? But I have been close enough to know that there were people who went in there with very good intentions, and their hands got tied. I know this for a fact, right? So when we begin to critique our leaders, right, and we begin to you know, in this instance, we're talking about, you know, a leader who had been passed now from the early 90s, right? I would encourage everyone to read the book that was written about him. There's a lot of things in that book. I started reading it. I'm in the middle of reading it, right? Because when it comes to dealing with the global system of racism, white supremacy, one of the things that often happens is that we as leaders get blamed for a system that was already corrupt before we ever got into it.
We became a part of it. We
Well,
accepted it.
what other option you got? What other option you got?
Man, we gotta stand for something. You know, when our leaders became the bootlickers, the Uncle Tom.
But let me ask you this: if you become a leader and you want to carry this nation in another direction, right? If you want to pull a Castro, right, and you see what they did to Cuba when they put the embargo on us because we going in a different direction. How many people in the electric can stand behind you? They can run you. They can run you. They say what?
No pain, no gain.
Yeah, but the majority of people don't have that mentality. So you could be the best leader in the world, but if ain't no one following you, you ain't no leader.
See, and you know what things are changing now.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? Because of the BRICS and you understand me and the position of the dollar. Come on, man. We know what the U.S. with the dollar is about, the petrodollar. You understand me? Before it was backed by gold, and they went backed by arms.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So we see these things and know these things, but we lie to our children. You know what I'm saying? Let's say we Uncle Toms. Don't say we something that we not. Don't say that we doing well when we only bowing to you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. Or we watch the spook that sat behind the door. You ever watch that? All right, let me run to the next caller.
But one more thing. The thing what we need, you know what we need most?
Mm-hmm.
We need a union with our region, with the Caribbean.
I like that idea.
What you call it, a single market union.
I like that.
A customs union.
Yeah.
We need those unions. When we get that union, then we'll be better. And you know, other than that, we are a true Uncle Toms to this region. We're the head Uncle Tom. Thank you.
Wow, thank you for calling, man. Let's run to the text lines, and then we'll go back to the phone lines. Let's see. All right. Why y'all complaining about Papa calling? Just calling. That's just all. Just calling. All right, bro. Look at the number of people who are now going natural, growing lock, etc. I know that the judge may be looking at it from a security perspective, that is hiding drugs or shanks in their hair. Having said that, however, if the prisoner is a practicing Rasta and his locks is a part of his religion, he should be allowed to wear them even in prison. I agree. After all, people are sent to prison as punishment for their crimes, not to be punished for his crimes. I agree. I mean, you want to break the man's spirit, and then you want to send him back over there to do what in the community. Let's run back to the phone lines here on Guardian Radio today. Call you live.
Hey, Uncle.
Hey.
Excellent show, man.
Thank you.
I appreciate everybody's input. I learned a lot from the University of Guardian Radio.
Yeah, man, me too.
Yeah. But I think when it comes to the prison and the dreadlocks, someone needs to set the prison and say exactly what the rule is, so that before I commit the crime, I would know I can have my dreadlocks.
But the Constitution already protecting your locks.
Oh, the Constitution protects your locks.
That's if your locks is a part of your religion, you have a religious right. That's a part of your religious rights. Now, I'm not a lawyer. There may be a lawyer who'll fight me down and say no X, Y, and Z, but that's my understanding, right? So I was very close friends with Priest Blyden, may he rest in peace. Priest Zebi, may he rest in peace. I opened up when Muda Baruka came here. I had the privilege of opening up for him, and we had these conversations about when they would come here in their early formative years, right? And the police grabbed them and cut their locks off, etc. Right? Now I know it happened to Muda Baruka, but they didn't cut his locks off, right? We know that was about attacking the Rastafarians. There's something wrong with that. And if you are a country who respect people's religions, you can't do that. You cannot call yourself, you want people to respect the law. You want people to respect the country. But then you can grab people off the street, cut off their locks, and then send them back into society to do what?
Well, they're grabbing people off the streets in America for less reasons than
Well, we know America's another story.
Yeah, but I won't touch on that, but I want to touch about Harachi and the Shah of Iran. Now, you think he came here, invested all this money in the Bahamas? You think he didn't pay to play here? Somebody?
See, and that's let me tell you, I think about these things all the time, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you become a leader in a little country like this, right?
Mm-hmm.
I just me guesstimating. I don't know. I ain't never been in no position to even know what goes on, right? But I could imagine these fellas who are very powerful coming to your doorstep and they giving you ultimatums. We come in whether you like it or not. So you could take this little bit of money and look the other way, or we can make your life difficult and still do what we want to. I'm not saying that's what happened, but I could imagine that could happen.
Well, it's good to have perspective, you know.
Yeah.
But now I want to ask you one more question.
Yeah.
We know that the U.S. president's health appears to be deteriorating. And at the same time, he's trying to avoid impeachment, which will be some trials.
Yeah.
But if they ever come to the point where they have to try him in court, would they try him as an adult or juvenile?
They'd have tried but go out.
Have a good day.
Have a good day, my brother. That's a good one. Let's run back to the text line. Let's see. Did you say Maruka spent time in Fox Hill? He was, they grabbed him. They grabbed him. He was in there. I don't know how long he stayed, but he was in there. Yep, that happened. Let's see. All right, we were talking earlier about intent. This texter says, I don't think intent really matters here. Letters, I'm hoping I'm not pronouncing it wrong, but Letters' intent is to sell his new book. Yeah, that's what we said earlier. The fact that he is selling a book does not say he's not telling the truth. What we do know about a doubt is that Letter was operating a drug operation in the Bahamas for years. We also know another MP, self-admittedly flew to Norman's Key to meet with Letter. We saw MPs floating around NIGOD and around today's money men or boys, quote unquote. We know how this proximity works. Yeah, when you get in that space, they come in. You as a politician don't have to look for the money men. They come in looking for you because you have the power. You have the reins to power. So you could be the nicest, most innocent politician in the world. They come in looking for you. Now, it's up to you to tell them no, but they come in looking. All right? Yeah, they could only cut his hair if he was convicted. Yeah, he didn't get his hair cut. He didn't get his hair cut, Dexter. All right, coming to you right now, caller. Listen here, man. You going to jail. Cut your hair off like everybody else. If you were such a religious person, then you shouldn't have been sent to jail. Come on, man, Dexter. You trying to tell me that because a person have a religion, they can't make a mistake? You believe because you have a religion now, you just automatically ain't gonna make a mistake? No, man, Dexter. Let's run back to the phone lines here on Guardian Radio today. Caller, you're live.
Uncle, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Uncle, I would like to also join one of the previous caller and thank the Guardian Radio, which he referred to as the University of Guardian Radio.
Yeah.
You know, for the opportunity to allow the Bahamian people, the average Bahamian person who's truly interested in having their voice heard. Mm-hmm. The show is called a talk show, not a text show.
Come on now. Exactly.
Okay? And I don't know why people are so afraid to let their voices be heard, regardless to whether they support the current administration or not.
Amen.
Basically, what it is it shows that the Bahamian people are logically sounded and rounded people. Mm-hmm. We know what's going on in the country from a national and an international realm. Mm-hmm. And the good thing about this is this airwave is not only here in the Bahamas, but it's all around the world. So it's a representation that the Bahamian people are not asleep at the wheel.
Amen.
History has already been recorded. Mm-hmm. And no matter how much a person may despise what is being said or whatever, the fact is the fact, the truth is the truth, whether they want to accept that truth or not.
Right.
It is already historical. It's already documented.
Yeah.
So we cannot run away from anything. And, quite frankly, I, on many occasions on the airwaves, have spoken of my admiration for the father of the nation, who we call the father of the nation, for the many great things he and his administration, which included many other great people, Your father was one of them, although not in Parliament, but he served from a civic standpoint.
Yeah, and my grandfather was a senator. Yep.
Yeah, exactly. Well, I'm talking about specifically in Parliament.
Yeah, he wasn't in Parliament. Yeah.
Right. People like A.D. Hanna, Milo Butler.
Yeah.
We could call Carlton Francis. We could call these names. People from way back then. We are thankful for the work that they have done that made the Bahamas a great little nation upon the planet. The sad part that really causes my heart to bleed, though, is that the ideals that the party truly stood for way back then, the wiping the tear from every Bahamian eye, to make sure that peace and prosperity in the hands of the Bahamian people. And although the people went out there and worked, it was incumbent upon the government to ensure that the Bahamian people do eat and work with ease, if I could use that term. And it's so sad that that is not the case here today. And, to give the people, in closing, the voice that we have, given us the opportunity for our voices to be heard, for the world to understand that we are not a sleepy country. We understand what's going on. Many are afraid to speak, but there are some among us who represent many of us that come out on these airwaves and speak. We must continue to speak.
Yes.
And that's all I wanted to say in contribution today.
Thank you, man.
I just looking forward to our Bahamas being a little more progressive, where financial prosperity, in particular, is placed in the hands of Bahamians.
Yeah.
And allow us to live comfortably in our country, because we are not living comfortably in this country, and we're watching others.
Yeah.
And the 1% who apparently have everything in this country, who can live comfortably, allow us an opportunity also to live comfortably in this country. Thanks for taking my call.
Yes, indeed. There's a book called Confessions of an Economic Hitman by John Perkins. All right, I think it's a book that every Bahamian should read. I think at one point Mr. Perkins even came here out to the Bahamas. But it's not as simple as I go into government or I go into the halls of Parliament and I'm just going to change everything. It doesn't work that way. But world forces, global forces, regional forces that you buck against when you get in the House of Parliament. Now, it's up to these politicians to speak their truth. But I know in this book, Confessions of an Economic Hitman, they tell you what theirs do. They tell you what theirs do. All right, Sparky, I can shout you out, man. Sparky say, why I don't let him go out, Guardian? I know. Sparky, I call your name, all right? One love, my brother. Good day, this Dexter says. So the gentleman doesn't know that not everyone is in a position to call the talk show like he does religiously every day. By the way, I'm not that Dexter, all right? Maybe everybody can't call in, but don't complain with the people who call in. Let's run back to the phone lines here on Guardian Radio today. Caller, you're live.
Yeah, Angu, I had to call back, and I want you to clear this up. This is a spiritual context. I'm not into the human journey, but as a man think it, so is he, right?
In his heart.
And we're willing to say if a man sees a woman, then he is, right? Right or wrong? So if the man says he's a Raster Man, he's a Raster Man. Now, if I hear him about me incorrectly, the judge said that he had to prove that he's a part of some group or some type form of conformity to say he's a Rasta.
But the Rastas came to his defense, so that should have been that. That should have been that. That should have been it right there.
But what I mean is, I just want to make it quick and then I want you to comment, because what I'm saying is I was taken aback by that, because I was like, what is this? What you mean? The man says he's a Rasta Man, he's a Rasta Man. So we are not all perfect spiritually. So I may wear locks, but that doesn't mean I don't sin or I'm not doing something that I know that's spiritually incorrect. Right? So I just thought that was something that should have never been said, because if the man says he's a Rasta, that means he's a Rasta. And so the people who just are so willing to cut it, they don't understand the spiritual significance of it to the person that's wearing it.
Right.
It's a form of showing society that you're different from them.
Right.
And you're not
it's
conformed.
a covenant.
And as it relates to what Jeff is saying, I want everybody to know, please listen to the non-conformists, okay?
Yeah.
That's what life is all about, not conformity. Give thanks.
Yeah, man. See, I would use that advantage if I'm running the correctional center. I'm going to say, oh, use Rasta? Okay, now what Rastas do? Call the priest? What y'all do? All right? You can't smoke in here. I know you can't let you smoke, but what else y'all do? And I can make him live up to it. Right? He'll be a better person for it. We're going to run to the break and be right back here on Guardian Radio today. We've got an open line today. My name is Dr. Cleveland W. Enas III, also known as Kahun Anku Sarah. Back after this.
It's time to upgrade the way you enjoy at-home entertainment. Alive Fiber is here. Enjoy all your favorite channels and streaming apps, all at lightning-fast internet speeds with affordable bundles, and it's only a click away. Visit www.alivefiber.com to sign up now. Stay connected, live your life. It's good to be alive.
Great news! Ron's Electric Motors' new location on Cowpen Road, right next to Island Luck, is open Saturdays and Sundays. So for those needing repairs on electric motors, generators, welding machines, water pumps, battery chargers, electric lifts, transformers, and power tools, Ron's Cowpen Road location can have you up and running on weekends. Don't forget, you can still visit Ron's Electric Motors on Wolf Road and Claridge Road, and now Ron's new location on Cowpen Road. Dial 356-0249 or 323-5267.
Tired of banks forcing you to use technology to bank the way they want you to? Your convenience is important. So no matter what your banking needs, Commonwealth Bank's friendly staff are always available in branch for that personal one-on-one service. But when you choose technology, our online and mobile banking app offers you state-of-the-art functionality. The choice is yours. Commonwealth Bank. Bank the way you want.
This Shoe Depot, you can buy 2 pairs of shoes and get a third pair of equal or less value at 50% off. Yes, that's right. Buy 2 pairs of non-net price shoes and get a third. No need to throw away your hard-earned money this back to school. Plus, VAT is taking a summer break, so all our shoes are VAT-free. It's perfect for all those school shoe purchases, tennis, and maybe something for yourself too. Stop by Shoe Depot in Golden Gates Plaza or Palmdale Plaza today and save.
Great news! Ron's Electric Motors' new location on Cowpen Road, right next to Island Luck, is open Saturdays and Sundays. So for those needing repairs on electric motors, generators, welding machines, water pumps, battery chargers, electric lifts, transformers, and power tools, Ron's Cowpen Road location can have you up and running on weekends. Don't forget, you can still visit Ron's Electric Motors on Wolf Road and Claridge Road, our Ron's new location on Cowpen Road. Dial 356-0249 or 323-5267.
When it comes to hearts at Cleveland Clinic, you can't miss a beat. You seek the best care possible, work with the brightest minds, and leave no stone unturned to get to the heart of the matter. Because understanding is always the first step to overcoming. For every heart in the world, see how we're advancing the future of heart care at Cleveland Clinic today.
Things may be tough, but Wendy's got you covered. Grab a day single or chicken sandwich with a junior fries and 16-ounce beverage for just $6.95. Why choose less from the other guys when you can get more? At Wendy's, we're providing bigger bites and better deals. So purchase your Things Tough Value meal today. Now available at all locations excluding the airport and food truck.
This is Indian Radio 96.9 FM. Fresh news, smart talk, all day.
And welcome back to the September 2nd edition of Guardian Radio. Today we're going to run straight to the text lines and then we're going to hit the phone lines. All right. We were talking about the economic hitman by Mr. Perkins. And this texter says, many a third world leader has... It's true. And that's what I'm saying. Yeah, there are forces that in, these telephone calls and these texts. Just letting y'all know. All right. Sorry, this next texter coming to you right now. This next texter say, we was talking about this man who say he's a Rasta as lock. So the texter say, so if a man says he's a woman, does that make him a woman? Everything must be objectively confirmed. Because he says he's a Rasta. You saying if someone if there's a man and they say there's a woman, you think we can believe them? No, because I'm the female person, right? No, man. But thank you for texting, man. Y'all ain't easy now. Next texter say, Uncle, why did some PLPs leave the PLP and create? What did Lyndon Penland say and do at that time for these individuals to leave the party? You know, we could do a show on that. That's a great question. All right, let's run back to the phone lines here on Guardian Radio today. Call you live.
Hey, good day.
How you doing, man?
Enas, I can't pronounce. I was trying to call you because a good topic conversation you were talking, and at the same time, what is so ironic is I was sitting, but I wanna ask you something, and those who are listening, do you remember the gentleman, the Rasta guy by the name of Michael Barry?
I know the name. I didn't know him.
Okay. You remember when Michael Barry was sent to prison, and they was trying to, right? And I think the Supreme Court or his lawyer did do something, whereas he was allowed to have his hair.
Right.
Yeah, and listen, I hang around a lot of Rasta.
Yeah.
Right? Israel is one of my hangouts.
Okay.
I should say it like that.
Yeah.
But for this country, they humble people, brethren.
Yeah. I agree.
They humble people. See, back in the day, you had the Rastas, them going shooting up at these stations and Rastas in this country.
Yeah.
Because they see a Rasta, they still, but you got, they humble brothers and the daughters, you call them empress, they come with them.
I agree.
You know, to be honest, but I can say this proudly. To my Rasta, stay strong. Sometimes, my brother, I prefer to be around them. Anyway, you have a nice day, bro.
Thank you, man. Listen, Rastafari was one of the main reasons why I learned to love Africa and love my black self. I always Rastafari. So I agree with you 100% to it. All right, let's go to the next caller, and we got some more texts coming through. Caller, you live.
Yeah, good show today, Uncle.
Hey, man. Thanks for listening.
Yeah, I have one comment regarding that story about Joe Leader.
Sure.
And it comes from the Word of God.
Oh, go ahead.
Luke 12, verse 2. Here it is. For there is nothing covered that shall not be revealed, neither hid that shall not be known.
Amen.
That's the conclusion of that matter.
Amen.
So maybe this is the time God chose to reveal it. He didn't say when, but he said it shall be revealed.
That's right.
And the other thought says that what is done in the dark, it will come to light. He didn't say when it will come to light, but it will come to light.
Yeah.
And so this could be the time.
Yeah.
Have a wonderful.
Thank you very much for calling and sharing. You know, I am always careful about how I critique our leaders because I understand racism, white supremacy. I'm not saying that people are not responsible, shouldn't be held accountable. I just think you have to contextualize everything. Let's run back to the phone lines, and we got some more texts. Call you live here on Guardian Radio today. How you doing?
Listen to me, you don't be a Rasta, you know.
That's true.
At one time, I believe I was the biggest Rastafarian in the world.
What?
Go to the barber,
Bigger than Bob.
It was in my heart.
True that.
Right, so a lot of these people that were these back in the day, like Do It said, a lot of them used to roots up to try to intimidate people. You know, one time ago, everybody's scared of the Rasta. Yeah, you get dreadlocks, you're a bad man.
Yeah.
You know, but you don't have to dread to be a Rasta, man.
I agree.
You could bear that in your heart, you know.
Yeah, I agree.
But I can continue listening.
Thank you, man.
Yeah, man.
You don't have to dread to be Rasta. I agree. But if you want your dreads as a Rasta, then leave them out of the dreads. That's all I want. Blessings, Uncle. I love how Papa spoke of how the Tribune ran that story about Gangster Joe Leader during PIN and PLP era. So now, Uncle, I would love to see the Tribune and many other media outlets run some stories of Gangster Maya Lensky being run out of Cuba, coming to the Bahamas, operating in Grand Bahama during Bay Street Boy, blah, blah. Yeah, you know, this, I think that's what some people are afraid of, that this could open up a can of worms because these things are not happening in a vacuum. These things are, and some people, you know, thought they put those things to bed, and now they look like they ain't, you know, gone to bed. So I think that's why some people are definitely concerned that these stories are coming out now. Let's run back to the phone lines here on Guardian Radio today. 323-6232, 325-4316, 325-4259. Go ahead. Caller, you're live.
Hey, good afternoon, Uncle. How you doing?
Hey, my brother.
Radio boy, it's pretty funny. I was listening to your conversation from the start, right?
Yeah.
And then I learned my brethren, the former host of the show, launched his program, right?
Yeah, I was gonna do.
So like, yeah,
That's my boy too, you know. That's my boy too.
All right.
Yeah, man.
Enough respect.
Yeah.
Enough respect.
Yeah.
So I'm still listening to him, but I needed to call in.
Yeah, man.
To register one or two thoughts with you.
Yeah.
On this topic, and you know, you were saying you made a statement to one of your callers. I don't think they understood at all. I don't even know if they were listening. What you said when you said to them, they didn't call us corrupt all the while we were under the other people.
That's right.
Only after independence they call us corrupt.
After majority
Only
rules.
after we got majority rules
That's right.
they call us corrupt.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
And Uncle, that conversation is as deep as it is wide, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I believe that you would be a very good person to host such a conversation on the platform during the 2 hours, because it certainly can't happen in 5 minutes, right?
No.
But Uncle, it is serious. It is a serious indictment upon those who are, as Bishop Hall would say, mental midgets, right?
Mm-hmm.
That they would be blind to the corruption and all of the racism and the slavery and the taking advantage of and even the prohibition era, right?
Yeah.
And they would focus only on one specific era.
You can't do that.
Even an era where they could not bring to guilt the very person who they love to talk about,
right?
Being our former prime minister, father of our nation, still independent. Uncle, it's a crying out shame. Before I even go there, people love to talk about Uncle Tom this and Uncle Tom that, but they still live in this country, Uncle.
Right.
They still trying to make a living amongst people who if they call it Uncle Tom. So what does that make them, Uncle?
Yes.
What does that make them?
Cousin Tom.
They must be the captain.
Yeah.
They're the uncle. They're the General Tom. It is ridiculous. But to get back to this thing with Linden, you know, and this has to be a slight in law. This has to be a slight in law, Uncle, that you cannot sustain defamation against someone's character upon death, only in life. Only in life. That has to be a slight in law that does a disservice if we about justice. Because justice should be able to be served even from the grave. What you say, Uncle?
I'm listening. I see. I'm very careful about. I have family.
I understand this point. Let me.
Go ahead.
Let me just talk to my.
Go ahead.
Point then.
I'm gonna get one more call
Uncle,
in. Yeah.
Someone shouldn't be able to
talk about you after you're gone. After you can't defend yourself. I hear what you're saying.
Yeah, someone should not be able to get up in any court, even if a person is passed away, without providing evidence to substantiate
what they say.
What they are claiming, just because you are not there to defend against what is being said, and the law is blind to it, and the law is something has to be drastically wrong with that. Something has to be wrong with that, Uncle.
Yeah.
And then that doesn't even entail looking at what the motive is. What is the motive for doing this thing?
He's selling bucks.
Unsubstantiated.
They selling bucks.
Huh?
He's selling bucks. He got a buck he's selling.
Oh boy, see, Uncle.
That's what it is.
And then, Uncle. The newspapers are there to inform us, right? The media is there to inform us, right? But the media also has a role to be responsible in its reporting. And therefore, the media should not be permitted or allowed to get away with dirtying someone's character, impugning someone's name and reputation, where they cannot themselves provide proof that it is true what is being claimed. You understand what I'm saying?
I hear you.
That is like you are double dipping a dirty well.
Yeah.
It makes no sense.
I got another
caller. What
caller.
kind of society are we building if we allow that kind of stuff to stand, Uncle?
I with you, brother.
I know your time is limited.
Yeah.
Respect God's blessings, Uncle.
Yes, my brother. That's always going to be, the concern, right? Let's run to the next call, and then we got another texter before we end the show.
Uncle?
I great, man. We only got about a minute left.
Yeah, I consider myself a conspiracy theory.
Go ahead.
Conspiracy theorist, and every
Yes.
time we have some type of major shift via political election, some major scandal that always blows people's mind. But don't you think it's by design, the systemic divisiveness that's happening? And it comes from the fact that, we've been programmed.
Yeah.
And as black people, especially a nation with predominantly 95, 85% black melanated people, they use these things like monotheistic religion and two-party system to play us against each other.
Yep.
But these are the same things that are causing us to stay in this perpetual state of fear.
Yeah.
And if we were to strip ourselves away from these institutions, then we realize that we have way more in common and we have things that divide us.
Amen. And
But
we could get some real work done. Yeah.
Yeah, I just want you, as a preacher, as a pastor, to focus on these things that we have way more stuff to talk about
Yes.
in the same 4-year
Yes.
cycle of politics.
Yes.
But you're doing a great job as usual. I wish you had more time to talk.
I
Thank
know.
you, man.
I know. Thank you, my brother.
Yeah.
I think we got one more caller. Let's get that caller, and then we're going to get out of here. Caller? Nope, that's it. Hair discrimination in this country extends beyond Rastafari. Shake my head. I'm not a Rasta, but I wear locks. Too often, they come with stereotypes and unfair treatment. Hair is part of who we are, not something the state should strip away. Respect for rights must cover every citizen and resident, no exceptions. Amen and amen. And I got one last texter. Don't kill me, Dexter. Dexter want to know when the JCNP can lift the ban on these Junkanoo groups being able to do their thing. Let me read it properly. When the Junkanoo suspension by the JCNP can be over. That's what this texter say. Sorry we couldn't talk about that more. But I've had a great time. I've learned a lot. It's given me some ideas for some other shows. And I'll be back tomorrow with another great show for you on Guardian Radio. Today, my name is